I'm a peanut butter fan. What about you? I love this stuff. And of all the fancy brands out there, I think I've probably tried them all, every one of them. I always keep coming back to my favorite. Don't judge, Jif. That's my favorite. It's just good. I know some of you are a little more fancy than that. But this stuff is just good. I really like it. And every time it's dependable, it's exactly the way it was when I was 6 years old. For the record, I like creamy peanut butter. That crunchy stuff, nope. I don't like it. It's sketchy. I think it's a texture thing for me. It's kind of like having a Jello salad with apples and walnuts in it. Ugh, come on, people. Apples are good. Jello is good. Walnuts are good. Apples and walnuts in Jello, pure evil. It usually has cat hair in it too. I kind of imagine the people that bring that to family reunions or potlucks are these oldsters with cats who gave up on life 25 or 30 years ago. That's kind of how I feel about crunchy peanut butter. Of all the 83 companies in the United States that make peanut butter, most of them, for unbelievably weird reasons, have a crunchy style of peanut butter, as well as the creamy version. Creamy, wonderful. Crunchy, ugh. I blame their leadership. I think they hire lazy people. And I think those lazy people come right up to 5 o'clock and they realize it's 5 o'clock, they have their hand on the grinder button, and they go, I think I'm done. They just take their hand off the grinder button before the peanut butter is done. Crunchy peanut butter celebrates quitting too soon. It honors people who give up. It's sketchy. And I think fans of crunchy peanut butter are probably sketchy too. They celebrate giving up. I don't know. Just saying. That's just kind of how I feel about it. But what about you? You're probably not a fan of crunchy peanut butter or cat hair Jello or giving up before the work is done, are you? It's because you're a leader or maybe a manager or a supervisor. You're somebody who's trying to influence other people to do great things. So you finish things. You finish them well, right? Well, how do you do that? How do you develop what I call a finish strong mindset? Look around. We see examples of the work of people with that finish strong mindset all over. They're all around us. And there are a lot more significant examples of that than crunchy peanut butter, too. This mindset shows up most obviously in a bunch of designs all around us. I've always been a fan of design, how things are thought of and how they're designed, especially if it's elegant. And whenever it shows up, I just love it. And I think I've probably been that way my whole life. I love the marvels of creativity and engineering, especially when they're useful and functional and elegant and beautiful all at the same time. Because I love design so much, I'm often struck by poor design. It's poor design because the designers and creators apparently didn't finish strong. They got close enough to make the idea work and to take it to market, but they didn't finish. It looks to me always like just a little bit more, and they could have made their design perfect. And when I say perfect, it's in the old Greek sense, the word teleos, which means in that old Greek language that all of the parts are there and they all come together in such a way that they become something else. Perfect. The other day, Donnie and I grabbed an Uber from the hotel to the airport. And the Uber was a Tesla Model 3. It's the first one I've ever ridden in. And I've been in a Model S before, and the interior design in the bill of the S was not as good, in my mind, as it was in this 3 that we just rode in. From my point of view, it was significantly better than the Model S. It was a short 20 or, 25-minute ride with a very very talkative Uber driver. I think her name was Elizabeth. But the ride was long enough for me to kind of scope out the design from the back seat of that Tesla Model 3. I looked all around me, looked up, looked down. I was fascinated by it. It's a simple, solid, elegant design. It was clear that the designers finished strong, at least with the interior. That the small airplane that I fly, by the way, on the other hand, while it's very safe and very functional, is a completely different story. A couple of the key gauges and switches, for example, that I need all the time, are always right behind the yoke. And I have to lean forward to look at them. Or maybe I have to pull back on the yoke to be able to see them. As you can well imagine, that doesn't help a lot. Oh, I can't see that gauge, and then the nose of the airplane goes up. It seems to me that a little bit of design, a little bit more, a little stronger finish would have solved that problem. Tesla Model 3, strong finish. The Piper airplane that I've been flying, not so strong a finish. Creamy peanut butter, strong finish. Crunchy peanut butter, not so strong. You get the idea? So, all my silly illustrations aside, let me ask you this. Are you a strong finisher? Do you have that finish strong mindset? Let's find out. So I like to surround myself with people who have that kind of mindset. They finish strong. And Donnie Kittigaw, who many of you have met and who's part of the Hilt Academy and part of our other companies, is one of those people. During the, what I like to call the coronacation, the vacation imposed by Corona, as some people love to think about it, right? During that time, Donnie undertook several COVID projects on the inside and the outside of his home. He remodeled his kitchen and his master bathroom, his guest bathroom, his dining room, the main hallway to the bedrooms, the main hallway to the family room, the outdoor patio, kind of an event space, and most notably, he created a secret bar and kind of an entertainment space on the ground floor of his house that he appropriately calls Don Q's Secret Bar. Sorry, Donnie. I guess it's not a secret anymore, right? He called all of these COVID creations. One of these projects is particularly impressive, and it is in its own right. The detail that went into creating this secret bar is most impressive to me. The colors, the lighting, the signage, the flooring, the ceiling, the molding, the back wall, the bar back, the bar stools, the tables, the board and batten walls, the family photos arranged just right, the custom-made backlit artwork with a Don Q's logo, and an illusion when you walk in that the ceiling of the bar is 20 or 30 feet high. All of this stuff is so cool, and it comes together to create an incredibly beautiful and functional and amazing space. The paint, the lighting, the trim work, the flooring, the hinges, even that section of gin, the whole, it's a gin bar, so that whole section there, that's all gin, the selection is amazing. They're all absolutely perfect. He even got a sign made and put it on the half door at the end of the bar that says "Nope" on it, so that people stay out of the bar area behind the bar and they leave the room for the bartender alone to work. The particular bartender who works back there during Donnie's events is kind of a pain to work with and very picky and very territorial. That's me, right? Details, details, details everywhere. It's beautiful. So what Donnie demonstrated with all of these COVID creations, in fact, frankly, as he does with all of his life and all of his work, is this finish strong mindset. He knew what he wanted, and he knew what he wanted those designs to look like. He knew how he wanted those designs to be used and how he wanted them to feel. He knew how he wanted his family and friends and those people lucky enough to get invitations to Don Q's Secret Bar to feel as well. He knew how he wanted them to experience that party or that evening. He knew what the end state should be, and he worked until he got there. But catch this, The finish line wasn't the end of construction. It wasn't the cleanup after construction. The finish line was the celebration with others. It was the joy that he creates in people in that incredibly beautiful space. That was the finish line. Like I mentioned, he does that with everything he sets his mind to. Everything. So what's his deal? How does he, and then how do other people that I've known and studied over the years have this finish strong mindset? My son Jonathan has it. My son-in-law Tanner has it. My friends Tim and Leslie and Robert have it. My friend Lori has it. Many others have it too, just like Donnie, but they all express it in different ways, but they all have that same mindset. And their lives and the lives of those that they lead are better for it. So, back to you. Do you have this mindset? It is, after all, utterly crucial that you do have it if you're going to be an effective leader or creator or manager or supervisor over the long haul. So let's find out if you have that mindset. If you do, you'll see yourself, and you should be proud of yourself. If you're not a strong finisher and if you don't have that mindset, or if you do kind of only once in a while, then maybe this will help you get that finish strong mindset. Most importantly, maybe it'll help you design a different kind of life or a different kind of career or family and set of friendships for yourself. Maybe you will finish so strong that all the time the rest of us will be better off because of that work you've done. Think about that for a minute. So what is this finish strong mindset? People who have this practice 6 disciplines. So come on, lean in with me on this one. Remember, a discipline is something that we practice in and of itself, and we get good at it. And when we are, it enables us to achieve something else that we couldn't achieve before we had the discipline. I'm disciplined in my workouts, for example, so that I can lift my 3 grandsons and play hard with them long into the night. No disciplined workouts, and I can't enjoy these boys in the same way. That's how disciplines work. I don't work out for the sake of working out. The discipline of working out is for something else. So there's 6 of these finish strong mindset disciplines that these folks like Donnie and others practice. So here's the first one. They start with the end in mind. They imagine the end state that they're after. They bring it to life. They can see it. They can smell it. They can taste it. They can see it. They can feel it. They start with the end state in mind. By the way, the end is after the work is done. It's the result. It's the laughter or the joy or the connection or it's a problem that the people have solved or something like that. In the case of Don Q's, it's the relationships that are built as a result of that place. Okay, so they start with the end in mind. That's the first discipline that they practice. Here's the second one. They make a commitment to finish, to get to that end state. It's a promise they make to themselves. Sometimes they make it to others. That commitment looks and sounds and feels a specific way. It sounds like, I will. It doesn't sound like, I will try. It also sounds like, I like this, especially in the details of the work. The molding, for example, in Don Q's Secret Bar is absolutely perfect. And Donnie liked doing the molding, but he did it in the context of the end in mind. It looks like enjoying the result once you get there. It feels like pride in your work, and it feels like kind of a slowly rising tide. So that's the second discipline. Here's the third discipline. They understand finishing strong means finishing the work cycle. Now, we have another video here, we'll link it in here, about what that work cycle is all about so you can actually see it. But the work cycle is you have a need, you accomplish that has been identified, a need, a challenge, an opportunity, you identify that, and then you move around to creating a plan, then you implement the plan, then evaluate the plan, and then celebrate. And then that sets you up in order to meet the next need. You haven't finished your work until you celebrate. You're not finished until you are able to admire and enjoy and celebrate that thing of beauty that you created. Here's the fourth discipline. They remind themselves over and over and over, if I don't finish strong, I'll never truly finish. They know that it's going to be forever an unfinished thing in their mind. I need to, I should to, I have to, that extra 5% to finish it. If we don't finish strong, we never truly finish. So it just goes on this trash heap of good intention that they think they're going to get to later. They know that eventually, even, the opportunity to finish will pass, and then good intention is going to turn into regret. Enough of that in your life, and it's like you're dragging around a heavy sack behind you of regret wherever you go, and it's exhausting and it's depressing. In fact, it actually creates depression. Here's the fifth discipline. They strip away everything that hinders them from finishing strong. They strip away the external stuff, those distractions, maybe even people, maybe even annoying relationships, the other good things maybe that are in their life that are not aligned with finishing strong. They strip it away so that it does not impede them from finishing strong. They strip away that internal stuff as well. They strip away that inner narrator. Oh, this is hard. I don't like it. I don't know how to do it. Oh, I bruised my finger. Oh no, I'm tired. They strip away all that stuff. They strip away that, oh, this is good enough, or no one cares, or no one will ever see that. They strip away all that stuff, that blah, blah, blah that goes on. They strip that out of their mind. Here's the sixth discipline. They know there's going to be resistance. It'll mostly be internal resistance, and it'll be a little bit external. It will occur when they start, or if they take a long pause, when they restart. It's very strong when we get ready to start. And resistance will occur in increasing intensity the closer you get to the finish line. Stephen Pressfield, by the way, is probably the most poignant writer about this thing called resistance that I've ever run across. And he tells a story about a friend who was nearing the finish line of a novel that she was writing. She was right at the finish line. The resistance she was experiencing was so great that she was ready to just actually give up and stop her writing process. And he said to her, if you're feeling that much resistance, think of it as a compliment, because resistance is paying you a compliment. Remember, the level of resistance we feel at any point is directly related to the power of our idea, of our vision, of our work, and how important our project is to us. So what does that say about you? Are you at some point in your life where, as I've been talking with you about finishing strong, you realize that there's something you've not finished? Or maybe you've set up a life around you where you've given yourself excuse after excuse after excuse of not finishing strong. And now you've got a dozen things you're not finishing strong on. And the people that you lead, the people that you care about, the people that you influence are not benefiting from you finishing strong. Maybe it's time to take a little inventory. Maybe you could develop that finish strong mindset. I want to challenge you to, because it's on the other side of finishing strong where all the magic happens. Time to think about that. Time to dig in and develop that ability. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of this bourbon left in this glass, and I promise you, I'm going to finish this strong. Thanks for hanging with me. Hope to see you somewhere down the road. Maybe if you get an invitation to Don Q's secret bar, you'll get to see what I mean. Here's to you.